for word, Lil Pump. Drake dropped a Nike collab.
I'm not surprised.
For Certified Lover Boy. He is
Not
coming.
surprised.
Drake is coming 2021, y'all. He's coming. And I went and I looked at it. It's beautiful. Senate also officially confirmed Amy Barrett to take over Judge Ruth's place in the Supreme Court. And we'll get into the details of that. First things first, we have birthdays today. So shout out to Casanova. He actually turns 33.
Oh, Casanova.
He
ain't that Casanova.
I know.
I wish he was.
Okay.
He's a rapper. He's an up north rapper. And it is his birthday today. Also, Kelly Osbourne turned 35 today, and sis dropped 85 pounds. I don't know if y'all have seen that, but she announced her weight and diet journey that she's been on, all natural. She's just been in the gym and eating better. And I mean, that girl slimmed down. She pulled an Adele on us. So happy birthday to Kelly Osbourne.
I thought she already did
Tell
that
your
about
parents.
5 years ago.
She did it again. So tell your parents, Ozzy Osbourne. We love them. Tell them hey, by the way, because we just like them. Okay, let's get into our topics for the day, y'all. Let's get into our runway segment because it was a lot. So Milano spoke out about the breakup with Meek Mills. If y'all remember, when they initially broke up, Meek was actually the one to announce it. Milano actually said nothing. She just carried her baby and continued on.
Oh, yeah,
and the only thing she said was that, I'm not going to come on social media and do this, basically.
I think that's very classy of her.
It was extremely classy. But someone asked her, a fan, because she posted her Sunday dinner. It was some shrimp and some mashed potato. It was looking good. And so someone said, help us understand why Meek left you. They couldn't get it. And
someone
she
flat
responded,
out asked her that question?
Mm-hmm. Right up under her comments. And she said, I ain't gonna be and I don't have And to me, that sounded like she was repeating exactly what he said to her.
Yeah. Everybody.
That's how I interpreted that.
Yeah, I interpret it as that's how their conversation ended in a breakup.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've heard this line in the movie
him say
so
that
many
to her,
times.
though? Do y'all really think that he would say that to her? That's like...
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's
I
very
really
possible.
do.
You think, Bill.
Jesus.
I would not put it past that man.
They broke up while she was pregnant, though. You looked the mother of your child in the eye and had that to say?
Was it when she was
Milano,
pregnant?
I need you to elaborate. I don't know. You have to give us the story, Milano, because I am...
Wait, it wasn't when she was
confused.
pregnant. It was after she had the baby. Because remember, they were being all close and stuff with her pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
And then after she had the baby, shortly after was the breakup.
Okay. We can go with that. Okay.
Don't
I don't know the details.
Fact check me on that.
Yes, I don't remember because I don't remember. It was so like it just felt like he put a baby in her and then it was over. It felt very weird the way it happened,
especially with rappers.
considering they were best friends for years. That was what threw me off about that. Usually, when you start dating your best friend, it goes a little bit.
I feel like
I don't know. I think about Light Skin Keisha and Coco
friend,
Van Gogh. Because they were best friends when they originally started dating.
I think of it this.
I think it becomes more complex when you're dating your best friend.
Exactly.
Well, that thing fell apart quick, baby.
Because I think Meek Mill as a friend is different from a Meek Mill in a relationship.
Definitely. Men as friends versus it's very different.
See, but then you brought up Coco Van Gogh and...
Well, because I noticed in their instance, when they started dating from their best friendship, it seemed to flow really cohesively. Like the way that we haven't seen any drama from them. Outside of, his baby mama was popping up out of nowhere about the child support situation.
Are they married?
Coco Van Gogh and Light Skin Keisha?
Yeah.
No.
But we're expecting
I wouldn't be surprised if we
soon.
see an engagement soon, though. They have been going strong for a minute, so shout out to them. But Meek, I really hope you did not say that to the mother of your child. That she's not nothing, she ain't gonna be nothing, and she don't have nothing. I don't even know what to say about that.
It's giving very future vibes, very future, sensational, toxic vibes.
Yeah,
I can agree with that.
That's heavy.
I can agree with that.
So shout out to Milano, baby girl. You have it all. She had a store of her own before they even got together. I don't know why he would even say that to her. And she seems to be doing a wonderful job raising their child. Let's get into
good health.
Miss Wendy Williams now, y'all, because that's a bigger.
All right, so y'all catch me up on this because I did not watch her show on Friday.
So Friday, she goes on air.
Okay.
Was it October? I think it was the episode of October 23rd, which
this past Friday.
This
past Friday.
She
went on the air.
You could clearly tell that Wendy Williams was on some type of drug, like some type of recreational drug. She was very.
It was
high.
not the Graves' disease medication. That
No,
was not. That was
no.
not.
Like she was woozy.
She was.
No,
She
more
was
than
slurring
that.
her words, Julissa. She's like
mispronouncing, not
ooh. For like 10
acting
minutes, she just rubbed her
nonchalant.
legs and said ooh for like the beginning of the show.
nonchalantly about everything. You know the music that she does for the shoe cam?
Yeah.
She literally had them play it over and over again while she just basked in her highness.
She literally was rubbing her legs and then just looking around.
The show's out.
Yes, she would randomly
the full
call
episode's on
Suzanne's name. She'd be like, Suzanne,
Yes.
Suzanne. It was
she
very
made
erratic.
Suzanne randomly model out of nowhere.
It was crazy.
Did she relapse?
I'm not
I
sure.
feel like she definitely did.
Allegedly.
When you
We can't
see
say
the video,
for sure, but it looked like she
allegedly anyway. But when you see the video,
did. It very much looked that way to the general public. Just not even sugarcoating. It looked.
From like every section or segment that she usually does, the way she introduces every segment, the way she walks out onto the stage, it was all off.
And you can tell
looked
everybody
bad.
was
She
mortified.
didn't have pep in her step.
Oh no,
No,
none.
she
came out
had-
in Air Maxes.
She never does that.
All
Something
black.
was going on. So she came out and addressed it because obviously people were like, girl, what is it?
Yeah, she did.
You know? She really didn't say much though. She just said, I'm not perfect.
Mhm.
You know, it's hard to come out here and entertain you guys, but you know, I have to
And
do
you
it.
guys are a tough
You're a tough
crowd.
She didn't really acknowledge whether or not she's relapsed, what was the cause of the behavior. This time she didn't try to blame it on her Graves' disease medication, which is her go-to. I think she realizes we're not buying that anymore. So she didn't specify. She just got a little teary-eyed and said, you know, it's hard. And she's doing her best to keep us entertained and, you know, she thanked us for, you know, continuing to tune in and
But
being a part of it.
during her high episode, she was talking about Rick Ross and alluded to allegedly doing things with him and dating him.
Which Rick Ross has not come out and said anything about, and I do not think
And
he
she
will.
said previously, well, before she even walked out on the stage, she said that she was laying in her office just laying down, and she got a phone call from him. And she didn't say what the phone call was about, but somehow she ended up getting on the fact that he had purchased, I want to say, 87 acres here in Georgia.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
we
that.
spoke about
Yeah,
that.
we spoke
Yeah.
about that.
And she was like, before she broke that story, she knew nothing of it. Her and Rick never talked about it.
Wendy,
So that's news.
yeah.
Like, hey guys, so you know, new land. I had no
It's-
idea about
it's
it.
It was
really
very
sad to
weird.
watch.
It was like watching a train
Oh,
wreck.
it
Her
was so
staff
bad.
said that. It really was like just watching
Like,
it
you
all
know
just
Norman, the
fall
guy
apart.
that she usually just plays off of? I want to say he's one of the producers.
He
And
looked
Yeah.
mortified
She kept saying, okay, Norman, just leave me alone. Like,
because he was trying to play into her energy and to make her look less erratic.
Yeah.
But
It
she just
wasn't
wanted to
working.
look like it was. He couldn't do much.
Yeah.
So Miss Wendy,
really
I don't
do
know.
wish the best for her. I hope she gets help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope you get it figured out, Miss Wendy. Maybe take a hiatus. She's done that before.
She definitely needs. And
Maybe
a lot
take
of her
another
fans
hiatus.
was like, why didn't they just do a rerun for that episode? Because that's how bad it was.
You know what I think it is? I think when they pulled his contract from under her and this show is over, they need references. And I think that episode, along with that 2017 episode of her falling out, looking like the Statue of Liberty, will be a part of those receipts that come into play and say, hey,
That one, I think.
This
this
is
Did she
over.
one-
explain that one?
No.
no. And if she did, she would have just blamed it
Because
on
at
Graves'
first I thought it
disease,
was.
so
At
doesn't-
first I thought it was the suit. I was like, is it hot up in there? Did you not drink water?
No.
I think she did say something like that, actually. But it was the same kind of explanation as what we got today. When she comes out
But
to
that
explain, we
behavior
don't really
that we
get
saw in
much of an
2017 was the
explanation.
same behavior we saw last Friday, but worse.
I think it's clear since the whole Kelvin Hunter thing, she's definitely relapsed a little bit. And she said as much. She was in a halfway house at one point. So
She had a whole segment that was dedicated to reality TV, and there was a guy that was leading it with her. She kept telling him how much she loved him throughout the whole segment. She wasn't really caring about any topics or anything. She just kept telling him how much she loved him.
Jesus, Miss Wendy.
I wanna watch it,
really,
'cause
it was.
I couldn't bring myself to watch that whole
painstaking.
episode because I have family that suffers from drug addiction or have in the past, you know, that have suffered from drug addiction, and it's honestly a really sad thing to watch.
It was
Because
it was
13
an honest
years
train
in the
wreck.
game, you have a TV show, and like this is where it ends. Like, this is what it's come to, you know?
But I didn't really too much
She's
her
sad.
excuse. I didn't really
It was not an excuse. It was...
care much for it either.
It didn't do anything. She didn't explain anything.
Yeah, she didn't really. There wasn't any accountability.
Yeah, and that's very Wendy-like. Very on par with, yeah. So, yeah, Miss Wendy,
Wish
we're
her the
wishing you the
best.
best. That's all we can do. And
You're going to be on the sick and shut-in
a
list.
swift recovery to you. In other news, Iggy Azalea, I know we talked about her earlier, and we talked about how she announced her breakup, and we talked about how the way she worded it kind of made it seem like he's an absentee father.
Do we figure out the baby's name?
Onyx.
Oh, that's pretty.
And so she says Onyx is loved by his dad and has always had both parents in his life from day one. So apparently we weren't the only people that interpreted her statement as if she was saying Cardi just was an absentee father.
Mm-hmm.
So she came out and addressed that, which we appreciate that, Miss Iggy, because we don't need any more black dads. If they doing their job, they doing their job. You know?
Just leave it at that.
And leave it at that. You know? Y'all don't have to work out. So shout out to her. We won't harp on that.
But NBA young boy
Was crazy. So allegedly, because there's no active police report right now on this case.
It's not gonna happen.
Really?
not gonna
Allegedly, he beat a man in a garage of a studio. The man alleged, or
Wasn't this somewhere
a
in
man
California?
alleged. They didn't specify.
Oh wow.
A man alleged that he had a bag put over his head, you know, as he entered the premises, and they kicked him, punched him, pistol whipped him, you know, beat him up really bad in this garage. He said they then brought him into a studio where he saw a body bag on the floor. And when they pulled the hood off, he said he got a look at NBA Youngboy, and that NBA Youngboy then proceeded to call his manager and say, "We got him," as if this was something that was planned out. And this is all alleged. This is just the account of events that was given to TMZ by a police representative.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, you know, that body bag is for you that you see, and he, you know, got
Why
scared.
does it sound
He
like
said
an
that
episode off of Empire?
it was crazy. So he said then that the manager told NBA Youngboy, "Let him go. You already have like a case you just beat," or something like that, alluded to something like that. And so they let him go.
He gonna end up like TK?
And then the next thing we heard was about this story. So then actually the victim came out. And they covered his name and such because, you know, I guess he wanted to protect his identity. And he actually said, "I did not rat. I did not tell the police what happened." And he said that's why there's no police report, and that people only know about it because he told a friend of his that was close to him. And that friend then went and sold the story. And
Well,
that's
I
how.
think for his safety, I think you should file the report.
Isn't this the same little rapper boy that's been running Yaya's nerves up a mountain? Isn't this the same character?
He's
This
not
is
rubbing up
NBA
her nerves no
Youngboy.
more.
I
He
mean,
left her?
she's pregnant.
Hey,
she just
exactly,
gave him an
she's not
Alice
going
bracelet.
anywhere.
Yeah, you didn't see the whole bracelet with his grandmother's name on it?
These girls are completely content with whatever. You know, I'm assuming he's telling them something behind the scenes that is making sense to them in their brain that is just not computing to us here out in the public, is the conclusion I've come to. Because literally all of his exes gave him like I love you, happy birthday shout outs, as if they were all actively dating him and no one had an issue with it. It's just, I've never seen anything like it. It's like, I feel like he is just like into polygamy at this point, because
That's not a surprise though.
I wouldn't be shocked by it.
NBA Youngboy is like never had like, I was about to compare it to Blueface. Oh my God. NBA.
I
comparable.
Couldn't see it.
Except Blueface is not actively.
And Blueface,
He don't get in
know what a beat
relationships with these
is.
girls. Blueface is
No,
more
he
clear.
embraces the fact that he's not a one woman man.
Mm-hmm.
He's
I feel like
very aware
NBA
of
be
that.
selling these
Who,
girls a
Blueface?
dream at some
Yes,
point.
he embraced it. He had like
Everyone
how many
knows
girls
that.
that he slept with? He said, I think he admitted to
came
like
out
100 women that he
with
just
the
slept with.
song.
Child, he
Fuck
said
yeah.
1,000. I know exactly what interview you're talking about. He said like 1,000.
He said
and
like
that was
1,000,
between
right?
like a few year period, and I was like, oh my God. And then he talked about how he's been burnt before. It was a very weird, out there interview that he did. It was real.
He's an interesting character.
I could see them related, actually, Blueface and NBA. Young boy. I could definitely see them related.
There's similarities there.
The only thing with NBA is I don't feel like he tells the other girls when he's messing with the next one.
Yeah,
Of course
because
not.
they be
NBA
acting
gives
like
me
they're in the
very
dark.
I have that stain in my underwear.
Well, didn't someone get stabbed or something like that? And then, you know,
I don't know. All I know was this boy
There was like
came
that
out.
stabbing altercation between Yaya and this other girl.
Oh,
That's
Yes,
when Yaya
and Yaya is still very much fighting that charge, so we won't discuss it because she is very much still fighting that charge. Her and that girl.
I thought it was over.
Although
wasn't
the
it?
fight has ceased on social media, that's still very much in the courts.
Ooh. Right.
So yeah, it's all alleged. Young boy has not come out and confirmed. We only have the victim
going
coming
to.
out. The
He's not
victim
going
came
to.
out
But
and
what-
basically said, "I didn't tell what happened. Someone else told." But it's like now you're telling us that it's
What
true.
happened to Hood
So,
Rich Pablo
Now
Juan?
that's what's going on. So this is actually last week, and he still hasn't gotten out. That's why I felt okay. Time to report.
What
it
did
must
he go
be
to
big.
jail for?
He went to jail
Not
for
Hood
RICO
Rich.
charges, which y'all know is that gang group activity, some conspiracy in that way. That's what RICO charges alluded to, and then racketeering. And they actually denied his bond, so he's just sitting.
Oh, so they have something on.
It has
him.
to be big because celebrity bond does not get denied unless they have like.
Oh,
They
Hood
got that
Rich.
proof.
I'm so
And I feel for
sorry.
him because that boy got robbed like 7 times
He
in a
has
row.
talent.
He got robbed like 7 times in a row last year. And then the year before that, they done stripped him in the middle of the street, robbed him, pulled his pants down. Then they put
Oh,
him.
him?
He can't catch a break. You see, he
Didn't
can't
he,
catch a break.
didn't he defecate
So
on
much,
himself?
yes, so much so that we forget that the man is talented and he makes good music. It's
I'm
just-
sorry. I'm sorry.
Stuff just keep happening to him.
I just laughed. Like,
Her Rich, what
know
did you
that
do?
scene in Holiday Heart where she like, bless her. Somebody go bless him.
Y'all, our engineer mad at us. We gotta take a quick break and we're gonna come back and talk. Her Rich, we're gonna get into it, y'all. Y'all are watching Next Now, ATL's Next 100 with your girl Just Jada.
it's your girl Julissa.
And Kris No Tucker.
We're gonna be right back with the tea, y'all.
Next 100.
A lot of people say it don't
That
matter,
po baby.
but think about
The
it.
2020 election is approaching.
This is your country and your future. So vote.
Let your voice be heard.
My faith and confidence in the American future is undiminished.
What up? This your boy Trey Songz encouraging you to vote.
This is an important election, and I'm concerned about America.
ATL's Next 100.
We are back, y'all. We was just getting into it over the break a little bit because we just don't understand what did he do? Why does bad stuff keep happening to him?
Who
what
man
voodoo is you playing with, Hood
is
Rich?
this? What happened to him?
How you go from getting robbed like 6 times in 1 year to being arrested on RICO? You know what? He probably tried to get back at all them people that robbed him, y'all. That's probably what happened. He got a gang, got a mob, and they went
I
over
just
there.
want him to do better.
How do you
whatever
bounce
it
back
is.
from defecating on yourself?
He never really did.
You don't.
And I
It's
think that's
called
why he went
therapy,
back to the
Julissa.
hood and he just started getting into the stuff. Maybe he was trying to get some street cred so that doesn't happen anymore.
He lost his
I
street
just
credit
want
when
him-
he pooped on himself.
I just want him
Julissa, don't
to,
say it like that.
to just to come back from something. He has talent. He's a talented young guy.
You know, it's crazy. I'm sitting here trying to think of that song that he did that we all liked, and all I keep
Yeah.
thinking about is him pooping on himself. Now I can't even get the tune in my Hood Rich. We wishing you the best, baby. You don't deserve
But you know
this.
how scared you have to be to defecate on yourself?
I mean, you can jump by a lot of guys,
Like, I understand what, like, peeing on yourself, right?
but to defecate,
Oh, let's use the proper term.
Yeah.
Urinate.
urinate and defecate.
It's like,
Oh.
what did you eat that day for that to happen?
It's actually really tragic, y'all. It's actually really tragic.
It was his
But let's keep him in our prayers and move on to Lil Pump.
Lil Pump, I have beef. Let me read y'all this statement. So he endorsed Trump 2020 for the election, which we've seen a few celebrities jokingly do or seriously do.
thing is-
So that's fine. My issue is you said the N-word in your statement and letting us know that you're voting for
Little
Trump.
Pump.
Sir, you are not black. I need you to remember that, digest that,
Little
swallow that,
Pump.
feel that in your stomach, and then come back to the internet with a just apology.
Let's just start with your name. What type of name is Little Pump? You're gonna pump a little?
Let me tell y'all his exact statement.
Little pump.
And all the celebrities have an issue with Biden's tax reform. That's where the issue keeps coming in. He says, would I look like paying an extra 33% in taxes for Biden's BA? And then he says the N-word. And I just feel like...
See, but that's not endorsing Trump. I don't
no,
think
he
that's
then went on to say Trump 2020. He posted a picture
That's
of him and Trump
endorsing
and said,
Trump.
when I met Trump 2020. He endorsed Trump.
Okay.
No
Yeah.
one has time for Little Pump's shenanigans.
When's the last
Julissa.
hit that you had?
No one.
What is the last hit?
What hit? Do
Go
you
to the
have any
studio.
hits? What hit did he have?
Go to the studio. Then maybe you can afford the extra 33%, sir.
Stop.
No.
I'd rather have the colorful Skittle.
I don't like
Skittle
him.
lace front
At
guy
least
over
he's not,
him.
you know, at this point, can we switch him out? Is that too much? Do y'all hate 6ix9ine that much? Can we switch him out?
Just
Because
speak
I'm
to your
over it.
accountant. Lil Pump, just speak to your accountant on ways for you to get a tax break.
I want to know his government name because I'd rather not call him by Little Pump.
Let's find out.
Because that is so disgraceful
Let's find
to
out.
rap
That's exactly what
all
we
around
do.
the world. Little Pump.
Oh, that was his last hit. Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang. Oh my God. His government name is Gazzy Garcia.
I
Listen
knew he was
here.
Latino.
Gazzy.
He
I
is
knew it.
Latino. He is not black. He's Latino. And he's 20 years old. He's a 2000 baby. So, okay.
Gazzy.
I get it now.
Gazzy, I really want you to put the stage name down. I want you to put the rap career down.
At this point.
And just find a new career or a new hobby.
And stop speaking on politics. And using the
Because-
N-word if you're a Trump supporter at this point.
You clearly don't have the vernacular, Gazzy. I want you to go back to school.
So speaking of school, let's talk about some more educated people.
Yes, please.
NASA scientists announced that they have officially discovered water on the moon. Can we get a hand clap? Because we finna colonize that thing. We is finna
Come
colonize
on,
that thing.
Elon
Let me give
Musk.
y'all the details. So
Who the hell want to live on the moon?
I
NASA's
do.
Sophia, which is girl, Earth almost over, baby. Earth is on its way out if we don't
They've
figure out
had
this whole
so
climate
many
change
movies
situation.
where civilizations have moved
And we'll fuck up
to
the moon. What? Just
I mean, but that'll be the next step.
and we'll mess up the moon.
It's okay. Please don't find us. So
I'm
NASA's-
known for saying things I'm not supposed to
NASA's
say.
Sophia. It's called Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy. That's who confirmed it. That's the segment of NASA that went up and figured that out.
So is the water
And-
drinkable?
Well, they found H2O in the water, so they know that they can extract the H2O from the water so that we can breathe on Earth,
Wait,
which was
Mama,
the most
I have
important.
to, I have to stop you there
Okay,
because water is H2O.
not
So you
oxygen.
can't. So you
Oxygen.
can't.
I meant
find-
oxygen. I meant oxygen, guys. They can extract oxygen from the H2O that they found, and they found that indicates, well, maybe we can go on the moon and we can live there because now we might have a way to breathe and we might have a way
They're
to
not
drink.
gonna find that
And-
out for another 50 to 100
You say
years.
that, and we have
Allegedly.
self-driving
They've been
cars,
looking. They have
Julissa.
been wanting us to live on the moon since we got on the moon.
I mean, I don't see any
But
problems
I'm
with
looking
that,
at the
Julissa.
NASA press release though, and that's not what it says. So maybe if I could give you the facts, then maybe you could.
So what did it say?
Okay. So it says that in the moon's southern hemisphere, they had previous observations of the surface and detected some form of hydrogen. And so that's when they went looking, but they were unable to distinguish between water and a close chemical relative, which is hydroxyl, I guess. So the data from the location revealed that there was water in concentration, so 100 to 410 per million, which is not a lot, but it's enough, I would think, to be able to extract some type of oxygen for it that we could then breathe in on the moon. And they said that they've had these indications for a while, like you said. But I feel like if they were able to verify it now, does that not make you feel like we might be a little bit closer?
Either way, it's one step closer from leaving the country.
Yeah.
I'm all aboard.
Which I think most Americans are at this point.
Yeah.
I'm so tired. No, I'm just. I'm
It's
not
okay
going
to be
over there.
tired, Julissa. It's
Yeah,
all
but the main
right.
thing is, the takeaway here is they're like, how did it get there? How was it created there? Because they didn't think that it could happen. So, and they say, even though it's a small amount, they still want to understand how it got there. Is there life, guys? I don't know. Let me not get into conspiracy theories, but I'm intrigued by that, and I'm kind of like, I'm excited. I'm ready for us to live. You don't want to live on the moon? Julissa's like, look, when Earth is over, I'm over.
Julissa, you gonna get on that shuttle when it come time.
We
Get
don't
on
even
that
have-
shuttle.
You never seen the 100?
Doesn't the moon
Exactly.
not even have like a stratosphere and all this other stuff that we have to protect
We'll
us in
figure
the
it
event
out
of
when
an
we get there,
asteroid?
Julissa.
Yeah.
I'm not living in glass. This reminds me of like this
With COVID,
movie.
they almost finna make us do that anyway. So, I mean, I don't really see the difference. I think we'll
And
be
what we
fine.
gonna do? Cultivate grass?
Yes,
Well, maybe
we're gonna
we'll
figure it
out
out.
new ways to get nutrition,
Yeah,
new ways of
no.
eating.
Can us-
Humans are very adaptable.
We
I think
have
we'll figure
the
it
But
out.
can't we as human beings just agree to disagree? let's stop touching things. Let's stop touching nature.
I do think the universe is sick of us.
Yeah.
I do
but
believe
they're never
that.
gonna stop.
But we're humans. We're not
the
gonna
ones,
stop.
We're the
We
ones
want to
who
be
put
the
space
apex.
junk in space. Space was not polluted until we started going
up there. Yeah, that's true.
God,
That's
I hope
true.
Saturn just blows something up.
Okay, well, let's not. Let's not hope that. Now, if something happened to Saturn, y'all gonna blame us. But like, Julissa spoke it into existence. Listen, I'm okay with living on the moon because I understand that humans, we're never gonna give up being the apex predator. I realize that we are perfectly okay with the Earth dying and us just going and start killing another planet. I've realized that about human nature. We just want to win. We just want to be
and then
here.
we'll start looking.
But
at
most
Pluto.
of us won't be able to survive it anyway. So.
Yeah, honestly, or afford to. Because the first people that get on that shuttle is going to be millionaires, billionaires, the upper echelon.
Not even millionaires are going to be able to afford that.
The trillionaires.
What you mean? Oprah got it.
Do you know how many people are like millionaires now? Like, unless you're like a multi-millionaire.
We talking about old money.
But that's billionaires. That's not millionaires.
Exactly. We talking about big bags.
The 1% can get up there. The rest of us gonna stay our little.
Well, they need a certain amount of the human race to colonize.
The right things, you could be a part of 1% too, Julissa. Because that's my plan.
So NASA,
Kris.
shout out to y'all.
Wait.
Shout out to y'all for getting it figured out. If y'all figure out a way to get us to the moon, I don't know about Julissa, but I'm on that first shuttle out, baby. I'll go.
I'll do a little gawk if I need to.
It ain't nothing.
It's nothing.
It ain't nothing on this earth keeping us here at this point. I think
you think
we
I
can
want to
figure it
look
out.
at myself after like the nuclear war happens and I'm mutated with 5 arms and 2 legs and 6 eyes? No.
So, in more serious news, and this is actually sad that we're still having instances of this, but there was a police shooting in Philadelphia where a 27-year-old man, his name is Walter Wallace, was actually shot and killed. Actually directly in front of his mother. His mother was less than 6 feet away from him. She was attempting to, calm the situation, but before she could do that, police shot and killed him right there in the street. It is important to know that he did have a knife on him because they kept specifying it as a weapon, which a weapon could be a gun. It could be, It was a knife. So he could not have caused them harm from the distance because if you see the video, I mean, they're they're farther apart than 6 feet.
Was it out in the video? Was the knife visible?
I didn't see it.
Was it like?
This is alleged by the people that saw.
Well, you can't really see it because you could see in the
He was-
video like his
he was
mom,
in the car,
his
he was
mom
moving.
trying to stop him.
And the guy that did the video was kind of in and out of a car, so the video was kind of hard to see at every cut and turn. But you did see the part where he crossed over to the street,
and then that's
and he's
when he
going this way, and the police officer is coming this way. So he didn't. It's not like he was charging him, and then he got shot. Which if you have a knife, I understand. If someone charges you, okay, you got to protect yourself. In this case, he's walking diagonally this way with his mother. And the police officer is coming this way, and once they crossed over to the sidewalk and he got onto the sidewalk and there was a parked car, you just hear the shots.
I thought it was a stabbing.
No,
I thought it was
the police shot. Why would the police stab him?
Do
police carry knives?
I was reading this. That's interesting if they did. I think
maybe he stabbed someone previously. I don't know.
Because I read this article about like something stabbing in that situation. I was like, stabbing? No. But then I saw that it was a shooting. They probably
But it led to more protesting in Philly.
It did. Protests obviously erupted that night, went crazy, and they actually sent a police vehicle up in flames. So it was pretty intense.
It's like
it's because another situation they got it on video
being reiterated over and over again,
and it's
tiring.
We've
been blaring it for years.
It's tiring.
And it's not even still being heard.
And the issue is just excessive force. You did not need to fire off a deadly shot. I saw the video. You did not need to fire off a deadly shot in that instance. And I feel like if you're a police officer and you get afraid in those moments to where it can prohibit you from acting appropriately in those instances, then maybe that's not the job for you. If your fear overtakes you so much,
but
your trigger happens.
But that's the thing, the world right now as well is so volatile.
Which I get it,
it's
but
human.
You signed up for that. You are a public servant.
That's true, but
you know what I'm saying?
Being a police officer is not is not a safe job
at all.
You never know if you're gonna go back home the next day,
and that's what you sign up for.
And they do it with pride. But
right.
I think understanding that because we're humans, there is a natural human response, right? Not everyone's gonna go
to fight or flight.
Yes, there's a fight or flight note. Not everyone's going to go straight to protocol when there is a high amount of fear in your head.
And I think those people shouldn't be police officers, because imagine if our military men came back and said, "Hey, I reacted wrong."
Do you
Sorry.
just
they
chalk
don't.
that up to poor procedures when it comes to mental health?
Yes.
Because that's all it is.
See, but
and poor procedures when it comes to police and how they handle those high stress situations. Which if you're a police officer, that's gonna happen.
I wonder if there is training when you can train
Definitely.
for a high stress situation.
I mean, that's what they do at the academy. That's what they're training you for initially.
See, but it's not like
they're not training you to have a good day every day.
For example, like your military analogy, like in the military, you are trained every single day for a high stress response.
Yes,
yeah.
And that's what you're trained for in the police academy.
I don't think you're trained. Well,
you're supposed
if you are not, then that's what we're asking for. Police reform. They need to be trained on it. Like, at this point, you've seen it 1,000,001 times on the news. For me, there's no justification, because this is not man number one. No. This is not Trayvon Martin. This is not. We're not at the beginning of this
Trayvon Martin wasn't.
He wasn't number one.
No, he wasn't killed by a police officer.
It's just a simple fact that
a security guard.
Look at how young Trayvon was. This just stems from our children, to our women, to our men.
Thank you for making that connection.
It's just the whole community as a whole.
We're tired.
Just tired, and I feel like on alert.
And I feel like as an officer, you should be too. You know what's going on in the world right now. Why are you pointing a gun at this man? If what they are saying is true, and that he was in some type of mental episode, I read an alleged report from a bystander that said that. Why are we still handling it like that with the state of where everything is in this world right now? Not even the world.
I don't think there's.
Let's just focus on America. Let's say
this This is not the first time that someone who was going through like something mentally or having this like episode was killed by the police.
Not at all.
But I know for a fact that police is not trained in the event when you get a phone call and someone tells you, hey, this person's not in their right mind right now. They just go there and they're like, okay. But then when they actually see how the person is, they get afraid, and then all of a sudden, bam.
So are you saying they're not trained, or you're not sure?
I'm not sure that they are trained for mental health responses.
I'm going to assume that you go to a police academy and they incorporate that. If they do not, then it still goes back to what we've been asking for. If anything, police reform. You need to be trained on this. If you are going to be a public servant, like, there's no more excuses for me. We are too many black people in for you to still be shooting us down in the street because you are afraid.
It's a massacre.
It's not. There's no more excuses. There's no more justification.
Is fear an excuse? Yes, to an extent.
If you are a police officer that signed up, absolutely, that's an excuse.
I don't agree with that. Only because of when you are working with humans, there's always going to be error. Period. Now, and when we're talking about police responses to situations that ends up having these situations that we have within the black community, right, where unarmed men are getting shot, even women as well. I'm going to include that. Understanding that not necessarily that it's excuse. One, if the fear's there, how do we handle that response in a way that people will actually be able to be like, okay, this is how I respond to a high stress situation without resorting to using the gun. The gun is not the way to protect myself in a situation like that.
I say we start touching on systematic racism and understanding that police brutality is happening more to black and brown people because they are more intimidated by black and brown people, and it goes all the way back to systemic racism. It goes back to these things that were placed on black men that says black men are aggressive, black men are this, you should fear a black man. Because when you see instances of, you know, somebody that may be on drugs and they're a Caucasian person and they're acting erratic with the police, the most you see happen to them in those cases that I've seen on video, they may get tased. But I haven't heard an instance where they lose their lives in the street. So
I've just seen so much more pushback from other communities that aren't us.
Yeah.
Like it feels like they're very hesitant to bring attention or to even bring light to what's been going on in this country for years, for decades, for that matter, and on and so forth. And until they bring awareness and accountability
We
for
can't
what's
make
been
excuses
going
for them.
on, I really don't see any progression happening anywhere.
Yeah.
Because it's like until we address the situations, then we're just going like in a circle.
I'm just a person of the solution, y'all. I just want a solution.
Well,
So
now we can just send our condolences to Walter Wallace's family, his
Yes,
mother, who had to
definitely.
witness that. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and take a short break, you guys, and we'll be right back. And then we're going to get into the hit segment, something a little lighter, new music.
Yes,
So y'all are
music.
listening to ATL's Next 100. This is Next Now with your girl, Just Jada.
it's your girl, Julissa.
And I'm Kris No Tucker.
We're going to be right back, y'all.
Next 100.
A lot of people say it don't matter, but think about
The
it.
2020 election is approaching.
This is your country and your future. So vote.
Let your voice be heard.
My faith and confidence in the American future is undiminished.
What up, everybody? This is Neo, reminding you to get out there and vote, all right?
This is an important election, and I'm concerned about America.
ATL's Next 100.
Guys.
We're
Hey,
back. So, Julissa, what's going on here in these streets?
Yes, Julissa's.
Let us know.
What's
going on?
All right, y'all. Now it's time for us to get into these hits. And if you don't know, HIT stands for Here in These Streets, where we talk about all things music, no matter the genre.
Yes, the music.
Yes, I'm already ready to buy.
Okay, our first hit goes to, is it Kid Cudi?
Yes.
What is Kid Cudi doing?
Okay,
we talk about
I'm
it?
a
'Cause
big,
it's
I'm a big
iconic.
fan.
Is it?
I'm a very big fan, y'all. He has resurrected from the dead.
Yes.
So he's
I'm here
released.
for that.
He released a teaser for his
His cute
upcoming
self.
album, Man on the Moon 3.
Whole album, Kid Cudi.
Yes.
He
He
knows
is.
we need that right now.
And
We
it's
need
been
that.
a long time coming
Ah,
for
my
Kid
heart.
Cudi fans, only
Yeah.
because of the fact that, like, I think the last one was Man on the Moon 2 was released 2010.
He had his mental
I was
health
in
issues,
high school when
and he
Kid
took
Cudi
a little
dropped
hiatus.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like, okay, and then we had 10. I know he released, like, some music during that time. I think he released it.
But he was very in and out.
Yeah.
He was very in and out. We
He
didn't get
wasn't
a lot
really
from him.
dedicated to it. He was
Yeah.
to himself for a
Yeah,
while.
he was too.
And I heard he was dealing with a lot of mental health
Yeah,
issues.
he,
He
wanted
was.
to get
that
his
he
mental together.
seemingly has bounced back from now, hopefully.
With his cute self.
Yes, here for it, Kid
I'm
Cudi.
here for it. So I'm
Yes.
excited. He hasn't given us a release date.
Well, has he given us
As long
details
as
on
he
the
doesn't
album,
Rihanna
as far
us-
as like who's gonna be on it?
Nope.
Oh
As
my
long as he
God.
just
doesn't
gave a
Rihanna us,
teaser.
I'm okay. Because y'all know Rihanna announced R9 like 9 years ago, and we still waiting on it. So as long as it comes out eventually, take your time, Kid Cudi.
Please.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Our second runner up goes to Ray Shremmerd. Y'all,
They're back
Come
together.
on.
I'm a big fan of
They're
them,
back
but I
together?
always mess up their name. They
They
are
took
back
like
together.
a time apart, I remember.
They did. But now they're coming, like, okay, let me explain. So Sway Lee announced on his Instagram that Strem Life 4 is on the way.
Oh my God.
And he also, there was like this Instagram
Yo, what's
post
going
that
on?
he had where it was him and Jimmy, and they were like singing this unreleased song.
Was it amazing? Oh, I wish we had the snippet, y'all.
I
Was it amazing?
really wanted the snippet.
Yeah.
I wish I could hear the beginning of the song because they played it in the middle.
Yeah.
So you're not having much context about the song.
Right.
But it sounded pretty legit.
I mean,
so
it's Ray
I'm
Shremmerd.
excited. I know.
You know.
When their first album came out, I knew every song word for word. Like, I love.
Y'all remember when they started a whole mannequin challenge?
Child
like
with black
everywhere
ears.
around,
Yes.
around the whole world. Everybody was like,
That was the whole movement.
it was amazing. Remember when life was good, y'all? 2020 just. But I'm happy about that. I feel like now I'm starting to feel like 2021 is gonna be our year, y'all. I'm
Don't say
feeling
that.
like-
Don't jinx it
Don't
because
jinx it?
everybody
Okay.
everybody was so
Let's just
excited.
not talk
2020
about it
2020
until we get
vision.
there.
Really?
Let's get into it. And then it was like
I don't think anything. could
2020
top
went by
2020
so
right
quick.
now.
Oh God, I'm tired. Stop.
everybody was so ready.
I remember that.
It
was like, it's 2020.
So how do you really pronounce their group name? Because I'd be like
Ray
Ray
Shremmerd.
Shrimmer.
I say Ray Shremmerd.
Yeah.
Shrimmerd?
If you want to say eardrummers, that's all it is.
Schmurder?
if it's easier, because it's just eardrummers backwards, right? If that's easier. Eardrummers. That's the name backwards. Ray Shrimmer.
Eardrummers.
RAE.
Oh my god.
DRUMMER. Has y'all never? Girl, how you a Ray Shrimmer fan and you didn't know that? It's eardrummers backwards, babe.
That's crazy.
If it's easier than to say Ray Shrimmer.
I like that though. That's cute.
It's cute, right?
The wordplay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Explains it. All
Yeah.
right. Our next hit goes to Roddy Ricch.
Okay.
Because Roddy Ricch has a total of 6 AMA nominations this year. And he leads all other nominated artists except for The Weeknd, who has 8.
I mean,
which is highly deserved because The
But you
Weeknd's
know
album,
The Weeknd sing raps.
that talent
Yeah.
on him.
The
And once
Weeknd's
you get a
album was.
Beyonce feature, baby, you,
But have y'all listened to
You're
his
up there.
album?
Roddy?
No,
I don't
The
listen to
Weeknd's
The
album.
Weeknd. I'm gonna be honest. I don't. He
You
makes a
don't?
style of music that I don't really tune into.
Really?
He did a song with Nicki and he did a song with
I
Beyonce,
feel like
and I've tuned into
The
those.
Weeknd and Brent Faiyaz are like cousins.
They are.
They
I
make
can
like
say that.
toxic R&B love songs.
No. No.
It's very-
The
They're-
Weeknd. The Weeknd has always been known for like, he's kind of like Kid Cudi in a sense of like he's kind of alternative with his music, and he's more like a gothic, dark sound.
Like
That
he gives
man
you
said,
Queen
"I
and
only
Slim
call you when it's
vibes,
half
like
past
Bonnie
5.
and Clyde, like you're on the run with your woman or your man.
He does.
Murder Spree, like this specific album is not like Starboy because I didn't
No,
I
Starboy
didn't
was
like
different.
Starboy.
Okay.
I'm good. I hated Starboy.
That's such
Didn't
a
it
strong
give-
word, Julissa.
I've heard it gave more of a pop vibe.
It was literally a pop album,
Okay.
which it doesn't mean it was a bad album
Did
because
he
it
have
wasn't.
features? Was it feature heavy? Is that
I
maybe
don't believe
No.
so.
Okay.
It's just that like The Weeknd, like he doesn't really do features like that because he
Okay.
doesn't need it.
Yeah.
He's like J. Cole, like they don't really need
They're
it.
more
Yeah.
of like hermits when they're like
Who
with their
was it?
creative
Was it
process.
J. Cole or Kendrick that had an album go crazy with no features on it? It was one of their earliest.
It might have
albums.
been Kendrick because I remember
I think both of them actually did it.
at the same time.
Like
No,
not
at
at the
different
same
points.
time.
But I think that
But
was
I-
like pivotal.
Because I remember one
the
of them did
career.
it, and then it started to become a thing.
Only between them,
J.
though.
Cole.
Other artists can't
What
do
was
that.
that album that Role Models was on? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, like
okay.
J. Cole is known for barely having features on his stuff.
And
you know.
still, but his fan base is strong.
Oh yeah, it's strong, girl.
They come
Don't
out
get
and
that
they
wrong.
come through, baby.
And J. Cole's record album, like his artists on his record label,
Yes, they're
Sickening.
amazing.
Are amazing.
Dreamville,
Sickening.
but now he's doing
Sickening.
feature. He most of the time when he does feature, he's only doing features with
from
Dreamville.
his
Which is
label.
amazing.
So he
He gives me very much Lil Wayne vibes when it was time for him
Young
to start
Money?
launting Young Money. You notice
Yes.
Lil Wayne take a step back and he pushed his artists to the forefront. And they thrived.
I'm here for it, y'all.
Shout out Young Money.
And
So
congratulations
shout out
to The Weeknd.
Dreamville. Yes.
All right,
Yes.
our up next is Pop Smoke and Quavo.
Okay.
So
R.I.P.
Quavo just released a new music video for "Aim for the Moon," and it was a PG-13 music video with
Really?
the lip syncing and acting of 2 kids that represented the duo.
Aww.
So it was really really cute, y'all.
I
Like
love to see it.
it, like if you watch it, I was like, oh, that's so cute.
Because I really thought it was gonna be, run the mill, regular Quavo aesthetic.
Yeah,
That's
nope.
cute.
I thought they was gonna
We
do something
love
like
the
that.
kids. Quavo love the kids.
Then up next is NLE Choppa. So
I love him.
his new song,
Yeah,
Narrow
Richard
Road.
Says, how you do that. I like that song. Is that not him? That's not him. Sorry. Oh, I
Girl,
guess I don't
that's
like him.
that's the
Stunna 4
baby's
Vegas.
that's
Stunna 4
the
Vegas.
baby's label.
No, Stunna 4 Vegas.
Yeah,
He's on yeah.
The baby's
I like
label.
him. Sorry, NLE Choppa. He the boy that's a vegan now, and he be talking about how he be farming and
That's
stuff.
NLE?
That's NLE Choppa.
He
and
believes
he be
that
posting with his mama.
His energy.
I do like
grows,
you too.
I like him.
NLE, I do like you too.
He
I'm
believes
sorry,
his
babe.
energy grows his vegetation, y'all.
Isn't that beautiful though?
I
You know, as people, we are
I'd
very
rather
much
have
connected
that.
to nature.
I'd rather have that aesthetic.
I do. I love it. He be picking the squashes with his mom in the yard. I love it.
He be doing his little yoga poses.
Yeah, y'all follow him on TikTok.
Oh my god.
It's very therapeutic. His TikTok. Follow his TikTok.
All right, yeah. Up next is Ty Dolla $ign. He came out with his latest single, "Nothing Like Your Exes," and the music video was even better. It had some comedy vibes with the hip hop legend Flavor Flav showing his best facial expressions. Flavor Flav. He was just
Flav
there.
is the
He was just
ultimate
there
hype man,
saying,
though.
"Whoa, wow!" Like
That's what he does. He's a hype man.
entire-
Yeah.
Just
We love that though.
We do.
all right.
It's
And
the
then-
culture.
Yeah. Flav is for the culture. He is. Flav is all the way
Although-
back to the 90s, 80s.
Okay.
Although his
She probably
his
just
music
knows him
career
off for
is
Flavor
very
of Love.
credible. But as far as like his reality career,
Yeah.
it's-
But he gave us I Love New York, so
he
I'm not
did
mad at
give
him.
us
Because
Tiffany
we would
New
not
York
have her.
Pollard,
Right.
And I do go for her.
So yeah. Okay, go ahead. Julissa, like y'all keep.
Oh my God. And our last hit goes to Stefflon Don with her latest song, Can't Let You Go. It's
saw
fun
that.
and energetic, and I love the Afrobeat sound in the song.
Yeah.
And the
But
girlfriend
she gives us
vibe.
a good beat.
Yes, she does. And the
I love
girlfriend
her.
vibe that she always represents in her music videos. It's like her and her
Cute.
girlfriends just like hanging out.
Yeah, and they were like dancing. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is cute. And call me stupid, but previously I didn't know she was Nigerian. Yeah, she's Nigerian. I didn't know.
I'm not gonna lie, like I thought she was. Oh,
I had
you know
no
what?
clue because she's from the UK, but like her background,
Yeah,
that's where the Afro thing came from. She's Nigerian.
all right.
Yeah.
And that is all our hits, y'all. Be sure to stay tuned and listen to NLE's Choppa's new song "Narrow Road" featuring Lil Baby here on ATL's Next 100.
All right, we'll be right back.
Cook that shit up, quick. Top side, the battle. Got the buns like a gato. And that little top side. I just got the Range Rover with some 4Gs. Sipping, feeling like a dope fiend. He say I'm not a killer, then but don't know me. My OG told me put in work when I was 14. Going down, I never roll, Going down, I never roll, Going down, I never roll, I'm going down, I never roll. They tell me things smart, I know right from wrong. They tell me I'ma get life with this dirty chrome. Well, you ready to take a life before they take your own. And I've been through some shit, I come from a broken home. I got a different mentality, this killer be killed. I rather the rap before I write a statement and squeal. It ain't no face up in my circle, real, recognize real. I kicked that boy by my car that night that I did my drill. Cause hey, we are not the same. I got murder running through my brain. And I'm hurt up inside, put running swim through my veins. Put your feelings on the toilet, watch it pour down the drain. They asking who I need, well I don't need shit. Only thing I need is this Glock 23 bitch. Flying overseas, got a young nigga CC. I was just posted in the street like some cement. I just got the Range Rover with some 4Gs. Sipping, feeling like a dope fiend. He say I'm not a killer, then but don't know me. My OG told me put in work when I was 14. Going down, I never roll, Going down, I never roll, Going down, I never roll, I'm going down, I never roll.
Roll getting out, slimmer and slimmer. Pray to God that I forget. Try my best not remember. It's a cold, cold world and I was born in December. I'm forever stepping forward, you know I'm one of the members. They try to tax us as us out and we start going and get them. Really show me what it was, I probably never forget you. Start having what you ain't had and then look at you different. But it don't matter, I'm in my bag, it's getting bigger and bigger. Now the Range Rover class sport and stamps on my passport. Never know what trippin', I got everything I asked for. Youngin' out here robbing, I try to tell that nigga the mask up. We get all the bags around the way, niggas can't gas us. I ain't really got too much to say before the task force. Keep minding my business, hold my weight and run my cash up. Sometimes I just ride around with my stick inside my damn truck. Everywhere I go, somebody put me on their camera.
I just got the Range Rover with some 4Gs. Sipping, feeling like a dope fiend. He say I'm not a killer, then but don't know me. My OG told me put in work when I was 14. Going down, I never roll, Going down, I never roll, Going down, I never roll, I'm going down, I never roll. A big body with some 4G autos. A dope fiend. When I was 14,
come. And when me blaze it up, me know you not want it bad. Bad like it against the law. Light up, bright up, yes, that me want. Correct me on my skin, me feel the glow. On my body, she a draw. So me tell you raw.
Baby, when the bright lights start to fade, fire up your lighter, float on with the waves. You make me feel like. You make me feel like. You make me feel.
Hey guys, and we're
Hey.
back.
We're back.
It's Kris No Tucker.
It's your girl Julissa.
And your girl, just Jada. Julissa, those were good.
Yes.
See,
I was feeling
pick good
both
music.
of those songs. Julissa just put me onto 2 new artists, 2 new songs, 1 whole new genre. Like, girl, I'm here for it. Yes.
But I gotta correct myself, y'all. It's Flavor Flav.
She was feeling
Yes.
it, y'all. She didn't mean to say Flav.
Flavor Flav. I know, like the old school people gonna kill me for that.
But
I'm
they know
sorry.
it was a mistake. It was a tongue twister.
I'm sorry.
You know, you
I
good.
try to pronounce names right.
It's the big
So-
clock. It's okay.
Or the man that gave us New York, because that's
How
what
long
we
has
really
he had
studying
that
at this
clock?
point.
Because he loves
It's
that
a
clock.
always
long
been a
time. That's the
thing.
part of his
He
look.
Like,
Yeah.
loves that chain.
So today's afternoon tea, y'all, I did 2 questions.
Okay.
Because one of these questions, I'm tired of arguing with people about it. And then one of them, y'all know I always want to do a relationship one in there. So we're going to
Okay.
start with that one.
Okay.
So we're going to start with Kris. Kris, how do you feel about your current partner? So you actively dating this person, wanting to be friends with their ex-lover. And it can be the immediate one that was right before you or one from years ago. Just an ex-lover in general.
I want to know this.
I was so interested to see how y'all, especially since we talked about like dating yesterday, Julissa. I was like, I want to know what their stance is on this.
Because I'm trying to grow when it comes to dating and that part of my life, because it's been very stagnant the past couple of years, and just because of me in trying to figure out my life and myself and my head. But I feel like I would want to approach it with a very mature mind. And like I would have to see, for me, in the way I look at people, I would have to see how you react with that person. Like how you guys mesh or how you interact with each other when you're like around each other. And then I would further gauge it from there. But as far as like making it a whole situation, no, I'm not the type to harp on that. Because I should be able to trust you when I'm not there. Like,
Right.
You should be on your best behavior even though I'm not there. And that should be something instilled in you before we even get to your ex-lover.
And that is a very mature way to look at that.
It is.
I would say.
I can agree with that.
That's very tolerant of you.
Yes, I try.
Julissa, what you thinking?
Well, on
I'm
the other
looking at
hand,
you. What you finna say, girl? Just go ahead and say it.
I
Just go ahead and
agree.
say
I
it.
can agree. Like, for instance, like if they were together like years ago, right?
Yeah.
And they just decided, because, friendships happen
Right.
in relationships.
And sometimes people work out better as friends than they ever did in the relationship.
Exactly. There are situations in which I'd be okay with that.
Okay.
Especially when I know that they have actually moved
Right.
on. Especially if it's the female counterpart. She has moved on. If I know that she's moved on,
Then you're okay. Got
I'm
it.
okay with that.
Okay.
Because I know when...
What if she's still single though?
But does that give you more security?
It does.
Because you feel like she's not gonna come back and snag him again, or try
Not
to.
just that. Like, for example, if she's single, like, I don't want to know why is she single. Why is she? No,
Yeah.
like if you talk to her and I see you guys interact, I'm like, I know when someone likes someone and when they don't.
Yeah.
So I'm very good at reading that way, like observing in that way, because I'm very
Okay.
observant. So I'd be like, okay, she's fine.
Got it.
So
you think it's situational?
Yes, but there's situations.
Okay. This is what Julissa really wants to say.
where I don't think it's immature to say that you are not okay with that. That you are not okay in any circumstance with you being cool with your ex.
Yeah.
It's okay. Because it's not about like, because I had this conversation with my sister and she was like, well, I feel like that's kind of immature. And I was like, no, it's like some people, they handle what they can handle. And I don't know if I can be okay with that all the way in a certain circumstance. Especially like, for example, if not just relationships, if we were like, y'all was like friends with benefits or something like that, y'all just was like, okay,
yeah, it can be an ex-lover of any.
That is a
there's no way.
Okay, so do y'all feel like because of friends with benefits can always pop back up?
Yes.
That's because their sole purpose was to be there for the benefits.
Exactly.
So, no.
Okay. So that girl already knows the deal. Okay. If something's happening between us, they're already friends. So it's kind of like, oh, I'll just, she's giving you problems. Oh, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, no.
Don't be a clean-up woman.
Yeah, no. Okay.
And also, it's the thing, I don't like the idea of my man having that type of really close intimacy with another woman.
Okay, so question. I'm going to put y'all on the spot. Has this ever actually happened? Has this ever actually been a thing in a situation where y'all were dealing with somebody and they were friends with that? Because right now, I'm just asking y'all hypothetically. But in real life, I want to get in your business. Has that ever been a thing? Has it ever been something that you had to confront at any point for either of you? You ain't got to air it all out. You can say yes or no if they might be watching.
I'm thinking. I don't care. I'll rat you out. Okay. I will rat you out.
I don't think. I don't know. Because I've had a guy cheat on me before, and it's like, I don't know.
Was it with the ex?
It was with multiple people, but I mean, the ex could have been one of them. I do not honestly know. But
he wasn't friends with his ex.
Okay.
But he ended up getting back with her.
So, girl, it had to be something happening.
Oh, yeah, something happened. But,
child,
trifling.
Julissa, it's on to you.
I'll rat you out. I rat you out. And it's also happened to a friend.
So is this energy from a recent relationship?
Oh, hell yes.
Okay, put it out there then.
Oh yes.
So how recent are we talking?
We like calendar year?
We talking
2020
September.
Woo! Fall, child.
Scandalous.
This season.
We talking April 2019.
Ooh, so same person?
Nope,
different. Oh, y'all gonna stop doing my girl like that? Cause I fight.
That sounds so stressful.
Don't do her like that.
Girl, that sounds stressful.
Julissa, we finna jump him right after the show. We gonna find you.
We gotta find him.
You're not gonna do her like that, Mr. September.
Mr. September. I'm dead. I'm good, y'all. I'm good. I promise. I'm good. I'm good. What about you, Jada? I want to know.
I know how I feel about men's. Me personally, I have, and for the most part, I've never remained friends with exes.
Yeah.
So for me, like, what do you need to be friends with your ex for? If y'all still have a relationship where like y'all are such close friends and you just can't let this friendship go, I think you should have that. But you won't have me as well. And that's just what that is with me. I'm not going to keep interacting with my exes. I'm not going to keep being friendly with them or like leave that door open. Now, I do have to be honest and say, y'all tell me if this is trifling or not. It might have been trifling. Don't care. I had, we'll call him an ex, but we were best friends, man.
I know what that feels like.
That was my best friend. So whenever the inappropriate part of the relationship ended, and we just continued the friendship because we were just best friends, and I'm still friends with this human to this day. So whenever,
that's good that y'all can do that though.
It was just like that because the friendship was there before any of that happened.
But do you think it can get complicated though at times?
It did, because I got a boyfriend, girl.
Not just like
that's where I'm going. So I ended up getting a boyfriend, right? And
Okay.
I thought to myself, I said, are you ready to let go of this friendship? Because if I was entering into that situation and my boyfriend
But if
at the
that's
time,
the case, you
I would've
never
wanted
looked
him
at that
to-
friendship like that, sis.
I didn't really. I
You
really
looked at it
didn't.
in a different light.
So when it came time to get into the relationship, and I said, well, I'm just not going to tell him that anything ever was.
Scandalous.
And I did not. and I maintained having my best friend, but it was protection for him, because I knew in the back of my head.
See, that's the best scenario working.
How else would I have done it? Because had he come to me and said, we can't be together if you're gonna be with his friends, we wouldn't have been together. And he knows that was my best friend. There was nobody that I was going to choose over this person.
But
I have someone like that.
And that just is what it was.
That's because you have that friendship attached to that. Like,
and
it's
that's what
different.
it was.
And I wish our generation would see that, because the girls be like, oh, I'm not dating my friend. I can't see myself.
And you know what? People would
I'm like, your friend knows literally everything about you.
Everything. So even arguments are different.
Yes.
We can't even be upset at each other without laughing. Like, it can go
Jada,
from a full-blown argument to like we are at each other's neck, and then he'll say something like, that's why your neck long. And now I don't even know why we was mad, because we're back and forth joking on each other. And that's just always been the friendship. So I wasn't about to let that friendship go.
I just think a lot of us don't.
And I'm glad I didn't, because that friendship outlasted that relationship.
But people don't understand that friendship can evolve to that relationship, to the relationship that most people see.
And want
it's
one
because
day.
you have that foundation of that good friendship.
Yeah.
Because you actually know that person.
And I have no regrets, because like I said, that friendship is still to this day my friend. And we have never recrossed those boundaries from the day that we left that there, and that relationship is years over now. So I'm glad that I went about it that way, because I would have hated to ended that friendship for a relationship that lasted.
But the thing with y'all took the chance. Y'all wanted to see where it would go. Yeah. And y'all mature enough to keep the friendship the way it was, even after it.
And he respected the boundaries 100%. Like, never overstepped boundaries, never. Now, the tea is, a few years after me and this significant other broke up, I think he somehow found out that was a thing in the past. And I'm just telling all my business, but I don't care. He kind of brought it to me, y'all. We were having a conversation.
Wait, the boyfriend?
He was the ex at this point. He kind of slipped it in. You ever had somebody try to slip something into you to get you to verify it without directly asking you? And he said, was this before or after you and so-and-so had a thing? And I said, it was after. And I peeped that he did it, but I also understand, like, what are you going to do? We had broken up at that point. I genuinely didn't care about what his reaction was.
And it's not like you was plotting.
And I never cheated on him.
Because,
never overstepped the boundary. Nothing ever happened. I'm very much glad that I made that decision. I would still choose him over you.
And
sucks to suck.
With that. I agree with that. Because,
that's my friend. And I think some friendships are worth that risk. And in this case, it was 100% worth the risk. And I'm so glad that I valued him over that boyfriend.
See, but that's the reason why, like, even though what I just told y'all that Mr. September, as you pronounce, was
that's what we gonna call him.
was problematic in that way. He was my, like, even before the relationship, we were friends for like 3 years before that.
Okay.
So I knew him for the majority of my, like, teenage years.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, it was like, okay, so I worked so hard to salvage the friendship, even if it didn't work out in relationship. But the problem is when you don't have honesty and transparency.
Well, that's the thing with this friendship. That's why it was always so valuable to me.
Yeah.
This man has never had a reason to lie to me.
Right.
And hasn't. We've always had a friendship where it was okay to be open and honest.
That, and you need to have the other part, like the other partner, the other side of it to cooperate. If they're not cooperating, then it's just you screaming at the wall.
There has to be comprehension there.
I learned that. Yeah. I did.
So before we get out of time, y'all, I want to ask y'all this second question, because I keep arguing with people about this. How do y'all feel about astrology? And do you believe when, the assumed characteristics of if somebody's astrology? Like, they say Taurus are stubborn. Do you believe in your astrology? Do you believe that it affects other people and their characteristics? Is it real, y'all? How do you feel about it? Be real. Come on, give me the tea. Give me the tea, Julissa. How you feel?
Do you know what grinds my gears?
Oh, not grinds the gears.
I don't believe in astrology.
What's your sign?
Libra.
That's wrong.
And you don't believe in astrology?
I do not believe in astrology.
I want you to know you're very much a Libra, though.
Because I I read like other signs and stuff like that and like their characteristics. I was like, I am that way and so much more. I was like,
but you know, your chart is not just your sun sign.
Exactly.
There's a moon sign. There's a Venus. There's a, you know, there's everything.
Multifaceted.
It's a lot. You have a whole chart, babe.
But I feel I see myself in all of them in a way because that is just my.
That's because yourself is in all of them.
You probably have a scattered chart, girl.
So
just like everybody.
So for that reason, I was like, I just don't believe in the idea that one sign I can just identify with because I see myself in all of them.
Okay.
Like when they say, I don't know, God, I'm going to mess this up, but I'm just going to use this to the best of my ability. Okay. So if they say like, for example, I don't know, like an Aquarius, like they're to themselves and reserved and they don't take this and they don't take that. Just an example. I'm like that too.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm like, it's kind of, for me, it's corny. It's corny. Yeah. Like, especially when people.
So you feel like it's too broad.
Yeah, especially to the point where people are like, oh, well, I'm not going to go out with someone if they're a specific sign. I'm like, please, it's not that serious.
No one says that about anyone but Geminis. But go ahead, Kris. How do you...
Oh, my God. Okay.
I think with the whole concept of astrology and, you know, the zodiacs and whatnot, it's very broad, and I think it stems into other parts of the culture as well. Because, you know, when I think of astrology and the signs, then my mind jumps to tarot reading. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's meant to be more of a spiritual guidance.
Got it.
Like, you have certain forms of, like, literature or, certain forms of literature that give you guidance, that help you throughout life.
Yeah.
And they're shown throughout history in so many different ways. So
you can't like rely on that one thing.
No, I'm not saying rely on it like intently. I'm just saying you can use it as a sounding board. Like you can use it for direction. It doesn't have to be something that you wholeheartedly believe. Okay. But there are some characteristics and things about it that can help you figure yourself out as a human being.
I think the Chinese
I believe that as well.
The Chinese one is more specific.
Maybe I need to look into that then.
I don't know about the Chinese because, for example, like I'm snake in the Chinese zodiac, I believe, and I believe more in that one than I do the one that everyone.
You think you a snake girl?
Succumb to? No, the snake means snake doesn't mean. And that's what I love about like Asian culture. The snake doesn't have the same negative connotation as how we see it.
Okay.
It actually like I think it brings like good fortune or something like that. I'd have to look.
Maybe they got different snakes in China than we got.
Oh my God.
But that just brings it back to just zodiac, like the astrology meaning different things in different cultures.
Yeah,
exactly.
But always, I think, comes back to, like you said, being a thing of guidance that you can be, guided from. I personally fully believe in it. And
for the people who really like rely on it for dating, I just
that's a little experiencing. And so for me, once I realized my whole being wasn't just, okay, you're a Taurus, then it opened up for me, and I can relate to other signs, and I'll look at other people's readings and other people's and say like, oh, okay, I relate to that this day. I totally believe in it. I don't think it's so specific because everybody's chart can be scattered. So I think people can it isn't, every Taurus isn't stubborn, or like every Aries isn't angry or
like
aggressive.
A different variation, and I feel like
it depends on your mix. How much water
lot of
you
like
got,
the negative
earth
connotations that have been brought on it has been because of religion.
Yeah.
And you know how religion can distort things and make it for their own narrative. So.
And I get that. Like, for example, I know that astrology mainly comes from like Hindu culture, and like because they heavily rely on astrology as a guide, like literally like in love, relationships. Because I was watching this show and like literally to figure out who would be a match for each other, they would literally look at these people's signs and talk about their fortunes and stuff like that and predict their future and stuff like that.
Which I think is
off
intense.
Of their...
Because I think nurture versus nature is a thing as well. Like how you were raised, the environment, those things come into play regardless of what your sign is. If you was raised in the hood, you gonna have some...
But it's pretty... Tendencies. But their beliefs is like, it's pretty... it's pretty legit, to be honest. Like, when I saw it, that was like,
so you do believe in astrology?
I believe whatever rocks your boat. Because for me, because of the fact that I am Christian, I have a different view of it.
Okay.
That I'm like, okay, for me, it's like I have a different understanding about self. Yeah. So it's like, if astrology is for you,
right,
go ahead and do it. But I'm like, I don't really believe it because I feel like I'm just my own flower in my.
And that you are. You're a beautiful flower of Julissa. But we're about to go to a Julissa the flower, y'all. We're about to go to a quick break, y'all, and then we are gonna be right back. I hope they enjoyed that segment. I feel like that was good.
I hope they did
too.
Oh, be sure to comment. Be sure to talk.
Yes. What's y'all sign?
I want to know.
Come to the Next Now Media at Next Now Media, y'all.
Do you even believe in astrology?
Tell us how y'all feel about it, because we want to know. I'm interested.
Mm-hmm. Don't be coming with it's the devil. It's the devil.
Yeah,
don't do that.
We don't need to hear that, y'all. Let's just keep it cute. But we're gonna be right back. We're gonna take this quick break. Y'all are tuned into ATL's Next 100, listening to Next Now with your girl Just Jada.
It's your girl Julissa,
and it's Kris No Tucker.
We're gonna be right back, y'all.
Who tryna go? Who gon' drop it down like it's money on the floor? Who tryna bust it for the dollars? Who tryna freak, bring her home, girl, and run it? She my spicy little mama. She let me bust up in Yada. I buy her all the designer, but she's still leaving tomorrow. Who tryna go? Who hope that she don't? Who tryna slide for the night? Who tryna weapon I? Know my name, say my name. Yellow diamonds on my chain, lemonade. I can never be your main, but tell your main you gon' have to call him back another time. Girl, let's get high, then ride, go up, get loud, get right here and now. Yeah, tell me who tryna go? Who gon' drop it down like it's money on the floor? Who tryna bust it for the dollars? Who tryna freak, bring her home, girl, and run it? She my spicy little mama. She let me bust up in Yada. I buy her all the designer, but she's still leaving tomorrow. She tryna pull my pants down. I was lighting up a star, got my break time. Told her, babe, I gotta meet her over FaceTime. She don't care, my little mama never waste time. Gotta get your flight real quick. So you can see any on the plane and listed. She look at me like you what I think. She bad, crazy, but I like it like this. Shawty so bad, man, shawty so cold. Wanna go hard, 25 years old. Met her in the club, they were playing psycho. We met JP's and they all rose gold. And we both can agree. Oh, she ride and tell me who tryna go? Who gon' drop it down like it's money on the floor? Who tryna bust it for the dollars? Who tryna freak, bring her home, girl, and run it? She my spicy little mama. She let me bust up in Yada. I buy her all the designer, but she's still leaving tomorrow.
Right, y'all. We are back. And we have our patchwork segment.
Yes.
I know we in and out with it because
the fashion and the things and the
yeah, the girls wasn't serving looks for a while, but now we back because Doja Cat
give me more.
She's gonna give us some looks. Doja Cat is working with Pretty Little Things on a fashion line that is going to be available globally. Everybody can get this fashion, honey. They haven't announced any details yet, but I love Doja's fashion sense. I love Pretty Little Things, and so together.
But it's fast fashion.
Aren't all the celebrities? Other than people like I know Cardi's doing upper echelon.
Megan do a collab with
Fashion Nova?
Fashion Nova.
I was wondering why she didn't do it with Fashion Nova, but she did it with Pretty Little Thing.
Because for me, I like Pretty Little Things clothing better.
Yeah, it is.
I like Fashion Nova's clothing.
I think Fashion Nova's cuter stuff is no, I'm not gonna say that. Not gonna say
that. So shout out to Doja Cat, girl. We can't wait to see what you come up with. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be bomb.
Yeah,
I've never known Doja Cat to not come out and look amazing. So I'm expecting, girl, the bar is here. I'm expecting you to bring it.
She's always been a creative force.
Right. And if her looks are as animated as her songs, I'm here for it. Drake dropped his Nike collab yesterday. It was called Nike Lover Boy. It included some puffer jackets,
Julissa.
some t-shirts, some hats, and it had like these embroidered hearts on it. He had a hat on there that had a kissy mark on it, which is cute.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna purchase.
I think this.
I will
said
definitely
it was actually inspired by a fan that like kissed on his hat one time, and he noticed it, and he thought it was a cute design.
I think this.
Oh, you better give her props.
Give her 10%, Drake.
I think this collab name is perfect for Drake.
Yeah, Nike Lover Boy. Did y'all see the pictures? He in the jacket crying.
Yep, I feel
I
like
didn't
that's
see
right on brand.
Nick, were we able to show them those pictures? Yeah, they seen it. Y'all seen him over here wiping his eyes. Drake. Maybe he's emotional because
He's so cute.
He's so adorable.
He embraces the whole light skin idea. Always has. I love it.
Yeah. Are y'all gonna cop from the line? Have y'all seen it?
Yes, I'm getting
it.
I'm getting it.
It's Nike, so it's affordably priced.
Because I do want a puffer jacket before it gets really cold.
And the puffer jacket was so cute. He had a light pink
I'm gonna
one,
get
a
the
gray
hats.
one, a black one.
I'm gonna get the hats.
I want one. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna look on there. You are also I'm also still gonna try to do the Ivy Park thing when Beyonce's dropping that.
Oh, you're gonna be broke.
I'm gonna try
before
to get
you
on
get
the
to
website.
Drake.
I just want one piece.
Just one thing, Beyonce. Please,
piece.
just put it in the cart for me, please.
One
Even
word.
if it's a parachute
I'm gonna
jacket.
try to log in like as soon as it launches, but
I just want
I don't
one.
know, just one thing.
I just want the
because I
biker
missed the other
shorts.
one.
Like that A. Marie one thing. It's just one. Yeah, I just want one.
I don't know if that was the perfect person to reference right now, but shout out to Beyonce. We love you, girl. Ivy Park, we're here for you. This is your part, honey.
Wait, what's wrong with Emery?
Child. So let's go into our government now segment. Let's go into our government now segment because we would like to keep our show in careers.
Yes.
And baby, we're gonna get into government now because the government right now is in shambles as it has been for
a whole train.
Yeah.
This
All right,
administration. So just
is
yesterday,
it really politics anymore? Or are we
it
just
feels like an extension of
a
our Round the Way
reality show?
segment at this point. It feels gossipy.
It's
So
sad.
the Senate confirmed Amy Coney Barrett to the U.S. Supreme Court. The vote was 52 to 48, and it solidified the court's conservative majority. And she was the replacement for Judge Ruth Ginsburg. And
this is,
how do y'all feel? Yeah.
This whole thing is just a hot debacle mess. Like it's just really, really tragic.
Nick, you had a few details to add as well.
Please someone bring up her resume because she really does not deserve to take Ruth's spot.
Nick actually has her resume ready for us, or lack thereof, and he's going to go ahead and just let us know.
All right, thank you. So Amy Coney Barrett's experience includes 2 years in a private practice, never tried a case, never argued an appeal, never argued before Supreme Court. Most private work involved civil cases, not criminal cases. 15 years teaching experience, and never served as a judge until 2017.
So she didn't grace a courthouse until 2017.
Amy, how did you get here,
and
girl?
it's the year 2020.
So 3
But
years is her experience, and she is now a Supreme
is
Court justice.
Capable to be a Supreme
No, but
Court justice.
did you see how they were talking about her? We're like, oh, this is a momentary moment in history, right? And they were saying all this stuff, and I was like, she's not. They're talking like she's the first woman to grace the Supreme Court. We have a woman
It is a
in
moment in history, Julissa. This is by far the most underqualified judge we have ever put in place in the United States history, aside from the ones like the first set of judges we ever had.
And a second thing about making history, this is the first time since 1869 that not one Democrat voted to confirm Justice Barrett, making it the first time in Supreme Court history a nominee has been confirmed without a single vote from a majority-minority party since December 1869.
That's
So a whole party
we are making history, but in the
did
worst
not
way
even
possible.
vote
Yeah.
for your confirmation. It's just the state of this democracy.
I'm sorry, y'all. I think we're all just like
a mess.
Yeah. That's a lot to take in, because it's just like, where
and I feel
is
like the closer and closer we get to like the actual election day, the more it's just gonna ramp up. Like
Don't
the
say that.
shenanigans are gonna become more and more.
Don't say that.
Chaotic. And
What more could they do?
honestly,
Let me not say that. Let me not even jinx it. But I just can't think of what else.
Well, you know,
What else?
Mitch McConnell is on a roll right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Please
It's
vote
so
in midterms,
blatant.
y'all. Please vote
vote.
in midterms. Don't
And
worry
I just
about
wanna
just
say,
this election.
Roger Stone. This
Vote
is
for your local
you.
government.
Roger Stone, we are not oblivious to you being back there pulling these puppeteer strings the way you are, Roger Stone. I don't want you to think for a second that we are missing the part, because he's the one that orchestrated Trump's entire campaign.
He did,
from
but
20 years back.
Him
he
and
wanted
Trump,
this to happen.
but him and Trump fell off.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
No, they did
There
not.
was a moment in time that
He
Roger
fell to
Stone
the
and
back.
Trump fell off.
He fell to the back because he is way more. He's publicly come out in a picture holding up the OK symbol aside the Proud Boys. So to an extent, he had to fall back from the Trump administration. But I don't believe for 1 second that you're not still in Trump's ear. Personally, that's just me throwing my opinion out there at this point. But because if you look at Roger Stone and the things that he says, it's like him and Trump are twins. It's like he trained him. It's like he birthed him. It's actually scary. It makes me wonder if a lot of Trump's views are even his own.
Well, Roger Stone has his footing in politics. I believe since the Nixon administration,
and it hasn't been good.
I mean, it's clear that they orchestrated all of this.
He reveres, and Roger Stone reveres Nixon. Like,
people's politics change, though. You know what I'm saying? It was the Republicans that freed the slaves. So
meanwhile, someone let Trump back on Twitter.
But I'm saying Nixon.
What did he say, Kris?
Trump said,
and this was his response to when we reported to y'all that Friday's COVID cases once again broke the record.
Trump sends out a tweet about a new record-breaking coronavirus numbers. Cases up because we test a fake news media conspiracy.
I really don't.
Apparently, if we stop testing people, COVID will go away. Thanks, Trump. I'm just running out of words to respond to him.
I know normally the Republican Party is like, we see them as a problematic party. We do, but
this is not a representation of the Republican Party.
No, it's not. It's a
this
horrible
Trump.
representation. Like regular moderate,
Trump's
Republican
of himself.
Do not behave this way.
Do not behave, and a lot of them don't
or agree with his ideals.
And not even just Trump, but like agreeing with like how radical
that far right
the party has become.
Yeah.
So now it's like it's either you're far right or you're far left.
You've seen the campaigns,
right?
Republicans against Trump. It's a whole campaign. People that initially voted for him and now regret their decision and have promised that they will not make the same mistake this coming election.
Like it's insane how radical the party has turned. It's worse than how
if you
the
know
Democrats
Roger Stone's history. It's not insane.
But it's not even just Roger Stone and Donald Trump. It's the entire Republican Congress. Like, what is going on?
I'm not shocked at the voter suppression that we are already experiencing.
Speaking of voter suppression,
the country,
they're doing it again in Wisconsin. So by a vote of 5-3, the justices in Wisconsin declined to lift a lower court ruling that was preventing the state from counting mail-in ballots that arrived such as 6 days after the election. My thing with this is, right now, within this pandemic, right, we are pushing mail-in ballots, and it has been clearly said by more than one source at this point that it's very much possible that all the votes will not be in, and we may not know our next presidential elect for a few days or maybe weeks to come after the election.
Right.
So why are we not giving every American a chance to have their voice heard? If you have the right to vote, why are we cutting that off and saying, oh no, we're going to cut off this date? Because if somebody mails in their ballot the day before election day, it might not get there within that period.
I want to know their reasoning, because like the Supreme Court, when you read their what is it called? The report. I'll call it a report. I'm not gonna say it.
Bill?
It's not a bill, but it's more like after they have argued, they kind like the one side that won over gives their side about the reason why they voted against it or for it. And then the disagreeing side gives a long comment about why they went against it.
I'm glad you said that. So the disagreeing side did speak up a little bit, and these were Justices Stephan, Justice Breyer, and Justice Sonia Sotomayor, and Elena Kagan. said that they would have granted their request, but they were not in the majority.
So
because
Brett Kavanaugh.
I wasn't gonna call any names, but you know the people that then and
Clarence.
you can think of what their reasoning might be.
Mr. Clarence
to not want all the votes counted. So,
but Clarence has always been hard conservative.
Well, please don't let this segment just turn into like. I just don't want this segment to turn into conspiracy. Like, even though it's not conspiracy, but it's real.
The conspiracy, at this point, doesn't even... It feels so blatant.
Yeah.
What they're doing at this point. There's no even getting around it. It's very blatant because
One
you
more
know the
hiccup,
more people
and
that
I'm really gonna
vote...
think we're in Black Mirror.
I really,
I didn't watch
I
that
really
episode.
feel like reading out Trump's own tweets shouldn't constitute as like conspiracy, but at this point,
that's what it
they're
feels like.
the same thing.
Right.
Yeah. It's hard to decipher when we even do this segment. I'm like, are we in government now? Are we still on Around the Way? Is this our gossip column? Because it's become so messy to me. This is not appropriate behavior from what I would expect from the American government. I mean, the pinnacle of what democracy is supposed to be, and we're dealing with voter suppression in 2020.
You don't even see these type of situations or scenarios in like political satire shows on TV.
Yeah.
Like Olivia's not going through all of this.
It's like a joke that we didn't even know could be told. It's like I don't know. And then we think about our presidential candidate, our current administration, and we look to him for explanations for these things. And all we get on Twitter is the economy's doing very, very great, amazing numbers, best we've ever seen. Everything else is fake news. Blame it on China. There's like a set number of excuses that he has or responses, and we only ever get those.
I'm so tired of him talking about record employment because I remember
if
you watch the 60-minute interview, she said, "You know that's a lie, Trump. You know that's a lie." She literally stopped him. And she was like, "You know that's not true." When he said record-breaking employment, I'm like, "Oh my God!"
And it's just like, why do you keep lying on things that we can go check? For example, when you literally went to the government website and disproved him by a simple Google search, and you went on a presidential debate and made these claims. Like, it's like, do you think we're stupid, or is somebody feeding you the wrong facts? Maybe. Is this what his team tells him before he goes on stage? Yeah, just tell them what you're doing for the economy. Tell them you're the best thing that happened to black people since Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, they're gonna love that. Who hates you on your PR team? Because it's not working. Your approach.
Does he still even have a PR team?
That I will believe that Trump would fire his whole PR team and just think that he can do it, run it.
Well,
on his
he
own.
remember the first 100 days
that.
of his presidency, he was firing people left and right.
Yeah.
Wait, how many? What's it called?
His cabinet?
No, like the one that runs the Department of Justice. You know what I'm talking about?
What are we
Attorney General.
Yeah, Attorney General. You know, because he had Jeff Sessions.
I remember that.
Took him out, even though he's the one who
and the
did
head
that
of the
horrible
FBI
thing.
stepped down because he was like, I don't want to be a part of this administration anymore.
And I think he was trying to pin a lot of other things on him as well.
He was. That's why he was just like, no. Because he had been there for, I think, over like 20 years. He had served in that position. And I wouldn't want to take my legacy either. You know?
I think that just ended our government.
Yes.
Now.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break.
Segment is always so draining.
It is. We always feel like we have to take a break and recoup. And I just can't wait for us to start getting some good news. Hopefully next month we have some good news to bring to y'all. Let's just pray on it. But right now we're going to take a quick break, y'all. We're going to let y'all listen to a song real quick, get it off your chest, you know, maybe bop a little bit. And then we're going to come back and we're going to get into some black excellence. How about that? We're going to shift the whole mood.
Yes, I'd love that.
We have to right here.
Me too.
Yes. So y'all are right here tuned into ATL's Next 100. Listen to Next Now with your girl, Just Jada.
It's your girl, Julissa.
And it's Kris No Tucker.
We're going to be right back, y'all.
Baby, when the bright lights start to fade, said certified free. 7 days a week. Wet, make that game weak. Yeah, you dealing with some wet. Bring up in the mouth with this wet. Give me everything you got with this wet. Beat it up, baby, catch a charge. Extra and extra. Put this right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I wanna ride. I do a giggle, I'm kinda wild. Look at my mouth, look at my thighs. It's wet, it's wet, come take a dive. Tie me up like I'm surprised. That's role play, I wear disguise. I want you to park that Big Mac truck right in this little garage. Make me dream, make it stream. Out in public, make a scene. I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you, I got this ring.
Gobble me, swallow me, drip down inside of me. Quick jump out for you, let it get inside of me. I tell them where to put it, never tell them where I'm about to be. I run down on them before I have a night. Running me, talk your shit, bite your lip. Ask for a call while you ride that. While you really ain't never got him for a thing. He already made his mind up for you. Now get your boots, hang your coat. This wet. He bought a phone just for pictures of this wet. Pay my tuition just to kiss me on this wet. Now make it rain if you wanna see some wet.
Look, I need a hard hit, I need a deep. I need a Henny drink, I need a woo smoke. Not a garden snake, I need a king cobra with a hook in it. Hope it lean over. He got some money, then that's where I'm headed. Cookie A1, just like his credit. He got a beard, well I'm tryna wet it. I let him, now he diabetic. I don't wanna, I wanna, I want you to touch that. That swing in the back of my talking misfire. The sun is going and drying. It's coming outside, yeah. I run on that thing. The cuz behind me. The way that I spit, and he tryna sign me.
Your Honor, I'm a freak. Handcuffs, leashes. Switch my wig, make him feel like he cheating. Put him on his knees, give him something to believe in. Never lost a fight, but I'm looking for a beat. In the food chain, I'm the one that eat you. If he ate my, he's a bottom feeder. Stand for big demeanor. I can make you bust before I ever meet you. If it don't hang, then he can't. You can't hurt my feelings, but I like pain. If he ill, me and ask who's is it when I ride the I'ma spell my name.
Yeah, you dealing with some wet. Bring up in the mouth with this wet. Give me everything you got with this wet. Now from the top, make it drop. That's some wet. Now get a bucket in the mouth. That's some wet. I'm talking wop. That's some wet. Macaroni in a pot. That's some wet. Huh?
Hey guys, welcome back.
We hope y'all like that little bop. You know, we was trying to get y'all in an upbeat mood and out of that little government slump. But now we're about to get into Black excellence because this is
what? When he said that little wop, I said worship.
Everybody need a little wop. A little wop can change your mood, honey.
No, just a little from the top, make it drop. You know, just real cute.
Gobble me.
So we gonna get into the y'all. We gotta keep it right on moving. First up, we have Javicia Leslie.
Come on, Javicia.
Yes. This is the first Black Batwoman. And she was cast to play the role on CW by the Warner Brothers. And she even changed, I don't know if y'all saw the costume, but she even changed the look of what Batwoman looks like. It was her own situation.
You better give it to us.
No, yeah, we're showing the
I do realize the CW is trying to be a lot more diverse. I realize that in displaying the
because I think the show Black Lightning is on their platform as well.
Yeah, it is.
CW. Yeah, they also had it was some Marvel show. Luke Cage.
Luke Cage was my show. No, I swear Luke Cage was Netflix.
Yeah,
just Netflix. It was never CW.
It was never CW.
Tried to help y'all. Well,
it didn't come back.
At least y'all did good with Javicia Leslie. At least y'all did Javicia, child. I tried to throw y'all a bone. Julissa said, get that back. That went them. But shout out to her. She's the first Black woman to play this role, and I'm excited because if y'all remember Halle Berry playing Catwoman, so I'm kind of excited to see another woman superhero with some. With a situation going on.
With a little spice.
I'm here for it. And in the role, she has her super curly hair, which I love.
Okay, that's
that they
great.
didn't make her straighten her hair or anything like that. So shout out to you, girl. You got to play that role.
Yes.
though. You got to
Batwoman
do
has
it.
a completely different storyline than like Batman. Like her come up's completely different.
Yeah, it is.
See, I never read the comics or anything, so it'll be my first time. She'll be my first representation of it. So, and I like that it's a black woman that gets to do that for me, and probably a bunch of other little black girls and boys, and they'll see it. Or,
But what has Kenya Barris been doing? The black
Barris.
Y'all remember him from
Barris? It's
Barris.
I'm sorry, Barris.
Y'all remember
Kenya.
he did the Blackish thing.
Yeah, he does
And,
issues.
And he also had his own show as well on Netflix
And
with
I
his family.
actually liked that one.
And it was so cute. The humor was amazing. It was kind of like The Office, but like black family version. It was beautiful.
So why did everyone have a problem with it?
It gave
No
me
one had a problem with
because
People did have problems with that.
because the way it
I was
portrays
cool
the
with it.
family, the black family, because Kenya's family, the way he portrays them in the show, it's very, very high class, very labels.
And you know
very-
what? They felt that same way about
Very
the
on
Cosby
brand
Show.
for what his job was in the show.
They felt that way about the Cosby Show, and I just want to say every black story is not one of struggle, and we have to get out of that mentality.
I know. I think they were
Yes,
looking for
there
like
are.
a Modern Family vibe. Like you know
But
when
that's
you
not
watch.
his day-to-day
I mean,
life.
it did give Modern Family, but it was
Modern
just
rich
like
family.
Modern Family with
Money.
the nanny. Like,
Yeah. If that's his day to day, I
it
don't
gave
expect him
upper echelon.
to present us a struggle that he doesn't go through. So if he
Okay.
put his family in the projects and tried to film it there,
And
we would have had
and
an
we have
issue.
so many other films and representation about struggle.
Yeah,
don't
of
need
that.
everything.
Like not every black.
We need
you know,
alternative
person
black
struggles.
stories. I'm gonna keep saying it. Alternative black stories.
Because if we don't if we have forgotten, we did have Baldwin Hills once upon a time ago, which was showcasing African Americans or blacks, if you guys want to be politically correct, them being in the upper echelon, in the higher tax bracket.
Which happens.
And that should be a good thing that we like
If
that
we
we
are not
celebrate.
all impoverished.
Because that's still
That's
very much
stigma.
still a realistic black experience.
Yes.
So
Yes.
It might be like 1%, but
It's really not, because my family at one
happens.
point lived in the hood. We at one point definitely did. But we are definitely now a middle class family, and that is okay.
it's okay to
We
be
don't-
middle
It's
class
okay to be middle class. We don't know.
and showcase a middle class black family because you
Yeah.
know we already showed.
but they do showcase middle class black families as well.
sitcoms.
Yeah. But
Like
people
what?
just always want, they're like, why don't you talk about more black issues? And I'm like,
No, like what though? Because
You
only
really
with the
like
like
lady.
go
for
there.
example, literally, like I
Everybody
said,
hates Kris.
Okay. I mean recently.
And that's
I mean
very-
Recently,
Blackish and Grownish and Mixedish have been the not Mixedish because
well,
Mixedish is in the 80s.
I think they have
so
a black
What about
family
Dear
on
White
This Is
People?
Us.
Dear
she's in a private school. She's amongst a lot of Caucasians, which is something that happens to a lot of black kids that come up in a upper middle class family. They might end up in a private school where, you know, they are the minority there. That's a very real black experience.
But that's not showcasing necessarily the black like family and middle class in a middle class environment. That's specific
I mean, well, you
to
can
her.
talk about Kenya's own show, Blackish.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The most recent one that I've seen of like
Was his?
middle class representation is Blackish.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think it's fine. I don't think
I want
every
more.
black story
I
has
want
to be
more
struggling.
of that
Yeah.
because people love those shows. Like for Everybody
Yeah.
Hates Chris. Everybody loves that show.
Yes.
Yeah. It was a hit.
Family
It
Matters.
really
But
was.
let's talk about what Kenya
Family
Barris
Matters.
is doing, y'all.
Fresh
he
Prince.
is set to write. I forgot about Fresh Prince. He is set to write, direct, and produce this Richard Pryor biopic. I'm excited. I'm excited for that. And then, you know, it's crazy.
Didn't
You were
they-
talking about David Letterman earlier.
Yeah.
And he did an interview with Robert Downey Jr. We love Iron Man. Shout out to you. And he asked him, did anybody ever bump you, you know, comedy-wise? Which is pretty much when you're on stage and you're supposed to go next with someone, but their segment goes so good that the audience, you know. And he
But
said
that-
the only person that ever bumped him was Richard Pryor.
I heard they had
Right?
tapped,
And that's David Letterman.
I heard they had tapped Mike Epps to play Richard Pryor in this biopic.
Do you think he will do it?
I think he wouldn't shy away from the opportunity because Richard Pryor is such a comedic giant.
Do we think Mike Epps can do it? Is he versatile enough to do it? And I love Mike Epps, but is he versatile enough to
We've
play
only
every
seen
facet?
him in the Friday Lights.
That's what I'm
so-
saying. does he have it? I don't know if he has it.
I think he can actually pull it together.
He can pull it out.
I think
If he does, I would definitely be interested.
If they
to see
don't, and they, they do the whole original casting process, and it's someone that we absolutely don't know, and it's a whole new actor, but an experienced one, of course.
Yeah.
Like, because we've had those movies,
right?
Right.
But they play those scenes.
Yeah,
really
and
well.
and they do it amazingly. So I'm not surprised if it'll just be good.
Shout out to Kenya Barris. This is our
fun fact.
back in the day, y'all. So I
Yes.
thought it would be a cute idea if we did what happened today in Black history. And today, on the 27th of October in 1960, Martin Luther King Jr. was actually released on bond from Georgia State Prison in Reidsville. And I thought that was interesting because y'all remember when he came out. And I'm showing the audience here the picture of when he was originally arrested a few days prior.
I don't think we remember when he came out. So.
Well, you know what I'm saying. We remember in our history classes and reading about, MLK having to go to jail. He also went to jail in Montgomery as well. There was a few times in his activism career that they threw that man in jail for no good reason.
No, but he did that on purpose. He went to jail on purpose because to go to jail was a good thing during the time. Because you got the word out. That's the reason why everybody went to
MLK
jail.
was arrested. But they took every chance they could to throw that man in jail, and he always just came out and he had the same things to say. He stood on his word, he did his speeches, and he furthered the Black community in a way that I don't think anybody else could have. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And shout out to MLK the Third, who we celebrated his birthday last week.
All right, guys. I think that's
excellent way to finish it.
Yes.
It is.
I think that was a good way to leave that off.
As always, you're
It's been
listening to
us.
us on ATL's Next 100.
This is Next Now, y'all.
It's Next Now, our community and our station.
Y'all are with your girl, Just Jada.
It's your girl, Julissa.
And it's Kris No Tucker.
We're going to see y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye. Come listen to us tomorrow. Bye.
Yes, come back tomorrow, please. We're going to be here.